is, let me check, March 8th. Time is flying by so fast lately. But yeah, March 8th, today was a pretty busy day. I pressure washed this calf room. This is the room where Angel and Ruby were in, so they got moved out yesterday, actually, and the room got cleaned out yesterday. So all the panels are nice and clean. I've got a fresh bed of shavings in the first 4 pens, and then gotta get a pallet of shavings brought in again so I can fill up the rest of the calf pens. And I gotta fill up the pails yet. The pins are in place in the panels that fit. So one thing that is a little annoying about the slots in this room, or all the rooms I guess, the slots for the panels are made when they pour the cement and they have those slots attached to the plywood that, you know, that makes the wall that the concrete gets poured into. So some of those slots aren't as perfect as you would like them to be. So some of them have a little bit of cement filling extra or less. If they have more of that cement filling, then it tends to push the panel out. So some of these holes are too in line with this post, so I can't actually fit anything in there. But the pins are in there to keep the panels from being knocked out by the calves when they're playing around, because as you've seen, calves are very playful. They're very strong, so we just like to keep those pins in there to keep the panels in place. We have one calf that's doubled up right now, so I'll be grabbing her and putting her in room 2. That's this little lady. We doubled up because there wasn't a clean pen to put her in. So before I feed calves, I'm just gonna move her into the first pen there, because it's actually really annoying to try and feed one calf while you're feeding the other calf, because they eventually just end up trying to suck on you instead of the bottle, and then there's 2 of them, and it's wild. So I'm gonna put her in here and then feed her so that there's less trouble. You got a little black tongue. Hi. What are you doing? So, feeding her, I realized that she has a lot of black on her tongue, which is crazy. Even under her tongue, oh my goodness. That is wild. I've never seen one like that before. It's not very common for Holsteins to have black tongues, so that's more of like a Black Angus trait, I think. So that's, look at how cute that is. I love how every calf is so unique. It's so awesome. This is that little girl that I had to hold the pail for inside the pen. Look at her now. She got the hang of it. And then here is that one set of twins. They're all done their milk now. Give that back, please. And my mom and my sister decided to name them Finkel and Fiddle. Those were my first choice names, but as you can tell, we do run out of names. So you gotta come up with some original stuff. So this is Delta. She's drinking out of the pail already. And then this is a little lady who was on the fat bottle, so I'm just gonna see if she wants to drink out of the pail. No? So the first thing that I really like to try is to get them to put their heads all the way through and then quickly switch my hand positioning so that they follow it to the bottom of the pail. There you go. Yeah, it's okay. You almost had it. So I'll try that a couple times, and if it doesn't work, then I'll try a different technique. But this seems to be working pretty okay. And if I can get her to step up on that cement ledge, that's even better. And then this is the point where they typically try to chew on you. Come on. That hurts. So she just bit me pretty hard there. So I'm gonna try a different approach. I'm gonna try and teach her on the skinny bottle instead, because she started chewing on my fingers, and I do need to be able to train other calves on the pail when they are ready. So if she chews on my finger and ends up cutting me with one of her sharp little teeth, then it's gonna make it a lot more uncomfortable for me to train other calves that need to be trained on the pail. So what I'm doing here is trying to let her suck on my finger and then switch it to the teat from the bottle, just like that. And she's not gonna get it right away because she's super hyper. And then try to let her find it on her own, just like that. Yeah, almost had it. So they're gonna bump around, they're gonna look for it. There you go. Now stay. And sometimes I'll just leave my hand here and hold it so that there's a little bit of a guide so that they can stay on that teat a little bit longer. And then I'll take it away, and then she should be on her way to drinking on that skinny bottle on her own. And they'll pop off a couple times and then, you know, they'll need help finding it again. But typically once they get it like this, they're able to find it again on their own. So she's doing real good right now. And that's just an example of a calf that was not ready to go on the pail right away, just for a couple of reasons. She didn't want to stick her head in the pail. Maybe it scared her, maybe she's just not comfortable with it yet, but for whatever reason, she's not ready. So we'll just put her on the skinny bottle, and then whenever she is ready, she'll let us know, and then we'll teach her to drink from the pail. Would y'all maybe get a room? So I see a couple of comments every now and then saying, oh, but I thought your calves weren't allowed to touch each other because biosecurity. And yes, that's super important for when they're really young and don't have a developed immune system. But these two calves are really close to already being 2 months old. They're like 6 weeks old. So their immune systems have already started to develop and they're able to fight off some bacteria and germs. So it's okay that they do that. It's not desirable, but that is the reason why we keep them separate. On the mouth is fine, but they're gonna start doing that to each other's navels, and they're gonna start doing that to where there would be an udder. So for heifers, that's a potential concern because it can cause dead quarters that'll never produce milk because they've been aggravated as calves. So that's why we keep them separate. So calf feeding is done. I actually bedded up this room today, so they're all nice and clean. Guys, that's gross. So they're all nice and clean. This is Mentos. She's a little bit of a special case, so we just keep her on the bottle. She'll most likely be on the bottle until she's weaned, just like Pumpkin was. So it, you know, again, make accommodations for those calves that need a little bit of extra help. And I wanted to show you guys that one heifer from a couple videos ago that I showed you that had diarrhea or scours. So you can see there's a little bit of remnants on the wall there and on the cement, but she is doing a lot better. And I got a couple questions from people wondering, oh, what's the medication you use and what are the protocols? I'm not going to be telling you guys what kind of medication we use for reasons that I don't want people to take our protocols and implement them into their own work. Just because what we do is specially correlated to our farm. So we talk to our vet, we talk about what the best protocols would be for certain cases of illnesses and everything. So if I were to say specifically which medications we use and why and when and for how long and what dosage, somebody else could take all that information and try it out on their farm, and it might not work, and then it would come back to me in a negative way saying, oh, but you said you use this. Well, yeah, I can say that I use it, but that doesn't mean that protocol, that schedule, that type of standard of operation is going to work for everybody else. So for that reason, I won't be telling you guys, just because it's best for your animals for you to go through your veterinarian, to have them come over to assess your animals and to tell you what the best course of action would be for whatever problems you have. So that's why. So I'm just in here in what we call the Reno barn with our newest addition of calves. They're doing pretty good, being just weaned. That's Ruby in the back there. And Angel right there. It's crazy how fast they grow within a 2-month time period. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please like and subscribe and share with a friend. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.